Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. The capacity to learn is a gift, the ability to learn is a skill, the willingness to learn is a choice. So, children, which category do you lie in? I wish you fall under all the three. Happy morning, children. Okay, now let's move on to our next section of the lesson, the best Christmas present in the world. Before that, let us have a quick recall of section 1. So, what did we learn in the last video, children? Do you remember? Yes, we learned about the author, Mr. Michael, standing in a junk shop. He wanted to buy a desktop which was sold for a very cheap price. So he bought the desk, but the condition of the desk was very bad. So he took the desk to his garage in his house and started to mend it. So when did this happen, children? Do you remember the time when this happened? Yes, very good. It happened during the Christmas Eve. After that, he starts opening all the drawers. The last one was stuck very badly. With great difficulty, he opened it and found a secret place inside the drawer. It had a thin black box, and inside the box there was a letter. Okay, very good. You all remember it. Very good, children. Now, let us move on with the next section, section 2. So, in this section, the author is going to read the letter. So, now you all must be waiting excitedly to know whose letter and to whom it was being written. Yes or no? Yes. I will brief you all on it before getting into the lesson. So, the letter was written by Mr. Jim to his wife, Miss Coney. Jim was in the British Army. And in this letter, he is describing the amazing experience he had during the Christmas Eve on the war field. Okay, now let us read the section. Now let's start with section 2. Dearest Coney, I write to you in a much happier frame of mind because something wonderful had just happened that I must tell you about at once. We were all standing in our trenches yesterday morning. Christmas morning, it was crisp and quiet all about, as beautiful a morning as I have ever seen. As cold and frosty as a Christmas morning should be. So here, Mr. Jim, he is writing to the wife in a letter the amazing and wonderful experience he had on the Christmas morning in the war field. So there was a war between the Germans and the British going on, and Mr. Jim also was the participating in that war. So that day, it was a Christmas morning. So what happened, he is describing in this letter. So they were standing in the trenches and it was a very great morning, he's telling, and it was frosty and cold. So during Christmas, how the European countries, it will be very chill out there and almost it will be like snowfall time. So now in the next paragraph, I should like to be able to tell you that we began it, but the truth I am ashamed to say is that Fritz began it. First, someone saw a white flag waving from the trenches opposite. Then they were calling out to us from across no man's land. Happy Christmas, Tommy. Happy Christmas. When we had got over the surprise, some of us shouted back, Same to you, Fritz, same to you. I thought that would be that. We all did. But then suddenly one of them was up there in his grey great coat and waving a white flag. Don't shoot, lads, someone shouted, and no one did. Then there was another frizz up on the parapet and another. Keep your heads down. I told the men it's a trick, but it wasn't. So now here in this paragraph, the author is talking about that who started to wish each other. So it was not the British, but it was the Germans. They wished the British Happy Christmas. So here the name Frizz and Tommy is being mentioned here. So it is not the name of the person that they are calling, but Frizz represents the German soldiers and Tommy is represented to be a name given to the British soldiers in a common name. Okay, so they are just calling the names Tommy and Frizz, and they are exchanging their uh, Christmas wishes with each other. Then suddenly, someone just waving their coat, they just stood up, and here the author, he got scared. He thought that it might be a trick, and they are trying to do some trick and have some attack on the British army. But actually, it wasn't a trick. So they were just waving, and they were standing up, and all stood up there, and they said, "Please don't shoot." So let's read the next paragraph. One of the Germans was waving a bottle above his head. "It is Christmas Day, Tommy. We have snaps, we have sausages, we meet you, yes." By this time, there were dozens of them walking towards us across no man's land, and not a rifle between them. Little Private Maurice was the first up. "Come on, boys. What are we waiting for?" And then there was no stopping them. I was the officer. I should have stopped them there and then, I suppose, but the truth is that it never even occurred to me I should. All along their line and ours, I could see men walking slowly towards one another, grey coats, khaki coats, meeting in the middle. And I was one of them. I was part of this. In the middle of the war, we were making peace. So now, after wishing each other an Merry Christmas, everybody stood up, and now they started walking towards the opposite side. So people were started coming. So many people started coming to the no man's land. So what is this no man's land? Do you know? Yeah. So no man's land is a land between the in the border between the two countries. So that particular land does not belong to the either countries also. So in between there will be a land left. So that is called as no man's land. So let me show you the illustration of the no man's land. So now can you see in this illustration, the people are playing football here. So there are fences on both the sides. So in between there is a land. That land is called as no man's land. Okay. So now, in this paragraph, though they all came to the no man's land, and there from this side also, there were people from the English British side also. They started walking. So this author, he was the officer, in charge officer there. But he actually he's supposed to stop them from going there, but he was not able to stop them because it was Christmas Day and everybody were just trying to enjoy. So they just bring the sausages, snaps, whatever drinks they had with them, they just brought that and they started sharing with each other. So now in the next paragraph, you cannot imagine, dearest Connie, my feelings as I looked into the eyes of the first officer who approached me, hand outstretched. "Hans Ulf," he said, gripping my hand warmly and holding it. "I am from Dusseldorf. I play the cello in the orchestra. Happy Christmas." So here, what happens? He's telling the author is telling he's not able to express his feelings to his wife because he was surprised and he doesn't know he was happy or he was sad or he was scared. He doesn't know. He was very surprised. So now one of the officer from the German side has approached to Mr. Jim. So he's coming and he's stretching his hand for shaking, and he's introducing himself as he is Hansel, and he was from Dusseldorf, and he was playing cello in the orchestra. So what is a cello? It is a musical instrument. So he was playing. He was the playing in the orchestra. So he is wishing Happy Christmas to Mr. Jim Beckerson. So here the author was a little surprised to receive a uh, Christmas wishes from someone he doesn't know. He was a German warrior, okay, a soldier. So he was very surprised and he was not able to express his feelings to his wife.